Hello, and welcome to a short tutorial on the job interview training system with Molly Porter. Today, I'm going to cover the basics of this program, just give you an idea of how to navigate this system and what is offered here. So let's start with our three main modules here: the interview basics, practicing the online application, and the actual interview with Molly. Let's go to the interview basics. So these are a series of informational slides that provide more readable information about the job application, creating a resume, getting ready for the interview, doing the actual interview, and what to do after the interview is completed. And you can navigate that with the links below, or simply by hitting the green tab at the bottom here, which will bring the reader through all of the information provided. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to skip over and get right to the online application. So this will be an online application to a company called WonderSmart, which we have created for the sake of this tutorial. You can think of it as a stand-in for a company like Target or Walmart or something like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is the online job application, and this is an area where we can fill out contact information, personal information, employment history. We can say what position we're applying for, various demographics, and so forth. Now, if you have any questions about any of these, you can simply hover over with your mouse cursor, this link here, and some tips and advice will appear in the box to the right. And more descriptions can be provided, various tips. So like, are you willing to work on the weekends? This can give some advice on how to think about that question. And this stuff is optional to fill out, but it is good practice to fill in, so we encourage doing so. But for now, let's save and continue. Now, before we get on to the actual interview, we are given the option of having the opportunity to disclose a possible disability that someone might have. So for example, if I had a history of mental illness and I was interested in disclosing that to Molly during the interview, I can click that here and the interview will take that into account. You can also click another one if you have multiple disabilities that during the interview you might want to disclose to Molly. This also gives us a chance to confirm our desired position. So let's continue on. Here we can select the level of challenge we're seeking, whether it's easy, medium, or hard. Let's start with easy for this. So here we have the actual interview with Molly in the top left corner here. She's going to be responding and doing the actual interview. And we also have another person here who will be providing nonverbal feedback, so things like thumbs up or thumbs down based on our responses. So I'm going to make sure my microphone is turned on in the top right. I'm going to click to begin.
Hello, my name's Molly. We spoke on the phone. I'm glad you could come in today.
So here you will see a series of responses that I can then speak into the microphone and read, which Molly will respond to. So let's try one. Hello, Molly. It's nice to meet you.
Did you have issues finding our temporary offices?
As you can see, Molly responded to the direction that I read out, and we got some nonverbal feedback in the form of a double thumbs up. I must have done pretty well there. We also have a transcript on the bottom left here that records what Molly is saying and what my responses were, which you can see are color-coded with some feedback below. I'd also like to point out that we do have on the top right here a little options menu which keeps track of various achievements that we have accomplished during our interviews and various options that you can play with. Now, besides following on to the conversation that me and Molly were having, we can also switch topics to things like asking for Thursdays off, or possibly disclosing about the history of mental illness that I selected before, or asking about pay, and various questions like that. But for now, let's just do a few more conversation pieces.
I had a little trouble, but it wasn't bad.
Tell me about your dream job.
I'd like a job where I can advance over time.
What traits do you like to see in a boss?
Okay, so this continues for a while, and there'll be some back and forth, and you can, like I just did, just select and click one of the responses, or use the microphone to speak your response. Now, I'm going to be ending the interview a little earlier than Molly, I think, would normally find appropriate, but that's okay, because we want to get to the final kind of score screen after we're done.
Patience and understanding is really important in a boss.
How long would you work here, assuming you were offered a job?
So to get to that end screen, I'm going to go ahead and end the interview. I don't think I want this job anymore.
I didn't think you seemed right for this job anyways. I hope you find something that suits you better. Goodbye.
Okay, so at the end here, we're given some feedback based on our performance during the interview as scored along various domains. We're given a score on each of those domains and then a final score at the end. Doesn't look like I did so well, but that's probably because I tried to run out of the interview to finish this tutorial, but that's okay. I hope you learned a little bit more about the Molly job interview training system today, and hopefully I answered some questions you might have had. Hopefully that was helpful. Goodbye.